Alright, let me slap down a marker real quick. I think I could do slash marker. Oh. Wow, we've been streaming for 2 hours? That's crazy. Oh, I meant to save. Oh well. December 29th, 9:43 a.m. District Court Defendant, Lobby number 5. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. Oh, what? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. Just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be fine, okay? Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now, the dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look on your in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2. And now the case of one. What? Your Honor, get on with it. Sorry, I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. Alright, while I have the chance, I'll save here. There we go. So. Well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. Huh, I wonder if that's to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix, right? That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It does not count. Did you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero, zilch, nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is blah 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 blah. Because it is not in the nature of a Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. I can relate to the head being everywhere at once, but I luckily have an empty head most of the time. Hey, I think we're all like that sometimes. Hey Z, how are you doing? How's it going? And thank you for the redeem. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What are you talking about? It'll be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it'll bring her dad back. There, opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time. Very well, you may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up here now. Sorry to keep you from your work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective.
Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this.
Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question.
At your service, sir.
All right, Detective, you may proceed with your testimony.
The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck.
I see. He was beaten to death.
Here's the autopsy report for the victim.
The court accepts this into evidence. A blunt object. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40. Let's press that. Hey, Zen, if you're still around, could you ban that guy?
Let me ask you about the snow. It was clearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime.
Did it pile up?
It wasn't such a big deal, maybe about 1.5 inches on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day.
Huh, the snow. Let me see. There's gotta be more to this. Well, what's the matter, Nick?
I need to take a look at the court record.
Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime?
Wait, I'm sorry. Did I zone out? What about the court record? Oh well. When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean?
Everyone but the dancers and staff were there.
I will, thank you. Yeah, it's been pretty rough. But honestly, I really enjoyed streaming for all of you. It's probably like the happiest moments of my day. After it's over and I'm resting my voice and I'm just like chilling, it's kind of sad and boring.
Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster.
Alright, have a good night. Thank you for showing up.
Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well.
Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey?
When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch.
Detective, you are welcome to file the police report after these proceedings.
The practice session broke up at around 10.
After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to?
Regina was playing with Regent while Mo went back to his room, tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately.
Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you?
It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. The murder itself took place in the plaza at 10:15. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about those events. Okay, not a problem, pal. We've got a witness that, told us how it went down.
This is totally meaningless. Time to move on.
Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end?
The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail.
A wooden box?
That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed.
Carrying the box, huh?
It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked.
Locked, you say?
20-pound box. It boasts a small but strong lock.
This may be my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions.
About... Oh yeah, what was inside of it?
Do you mind telling us what was inside the box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle.
A bottle? What is that, Detective?
Exactly what it looks like. It's a condiment bottle.
What's inside it?
It's filled with pepper.
Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box?
There was only one little bottle in that huge box? I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning. Weird.
The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck.
According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct?
You've done your homework, pal.
And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak.
My theory is that, someone ran off with it. Or that the perpetrator ran off with it.
You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene.
No. I bet he made it disappear with magic.
Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now.
I guess that's all we're getting out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we've wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness.
I'm not even off the stand yet.
Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint.
I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy.
Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may now step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness.
I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand.
She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist.
I wonder if Trillo would show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the record.
My full name is Trillo Quist.
I am employed at an operatic tenor. Or as an operatic tenor.
Excuse me, the witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist.
That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer.
Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song.
Me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence, decided by a judge dressed up like a woman.
Well, what do you think?
It had a good rhythm.
It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak.
Trillo, you know better than to insult a judge.
Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have a sense to fix it. It's so ugly, I want to punch you in the face. On the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star.
Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds.
What's going on here? Order, I demand to know who the witness is.
Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this.
I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about the...
You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let's proceed.
Once practice was over, I left the tent with the clown. Once we got to the lodge house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away.
You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene. You're sure of that?
Without a doubt. He had the silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy get-up and his nose stuck up so high?
That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown.
That's right, dress-up boy.
Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime?
He's got a point.
What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit.
Why is that?
Here is absolute proof.
A silk hat?
This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant.
Ah.
Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene of the crime.
Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done.
Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix, you're right. What do you have to say?
Okay, I guess she's the boss again today. What you witnessed. The clown you're talking about, Mel? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. Then when it comes to being a first place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack.
Then what happened?
Once we got to the lodging house, I had ditched him and we went back to the plaza. Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodge be better?
Mr. Phoenix, you're right. I think you should leave the thinking to the witness.
But I'm a good thunker, or at least my teachers always said I was. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears. Lawyers nowadays, you're like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Geez, how could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you.
Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions.
He was the only one headed that way. How could the punk not be the killer? You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right. That makes him the killer. There was only one person headed that way that night.
That makes quite a bit of sense. That makes Max one suspicious character.
There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something that I've mixed?
He only saw Max? That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well?
What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose the witness could have seen?
I mean, the whole thing about it was that, didn't Detective Gumshoe say that they were walking together towards the plates?
That's the victim.
That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he just, as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime?
I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions.
He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with the testimony. Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of a bitter love triangle with Regina. Which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went to the plazas, but yeah, we read this one. He was the only one headed that way. How could the punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. We haven't pressed this one yet. According to you, what time did the police arrive? I suppose that would have been around, hey, what time was it? I'd say a bit after 10:30, I think. Practice ended at 10, so you hang around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stand outside in that weather. The truth is... Well, yeah, shut up, you big-nosed dope. Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix, you're right. We can all do without your offhanded theories. But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something.
Mr. Wright, who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold?
If the ring is to be believed, maybe he was trying to propose? Well, if he was waiting out in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. Ah! You were waiting outside for Regina to come home to the lodging house. Am I mistaken?
Is this true?
Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares what I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw, don't you forget it.
Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right.
Alright. There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them any, a second thought. Ah!
That makes perfect sense.
What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime.
However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to the scene.
There's absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer.
I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for the real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina.
Pain.
Don't fall into your things.
Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house?
I was. I was waiting to propose to her.
You were what? Waiting to propose?
What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage?
That the matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case.
You're the judge, and I mean, look at your horrible outfit.
More pain.
Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet.
Don't be surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pockets.
You were going to propose? You, a puppet?
Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love.
I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too.
Exactly. His honor is looking a little less than honorable right now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination.
What was that sigh at the end?
About the proposal. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina? Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't gonna propose that we could become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben?
I mean, a biker gang would be kind of cool.
Got it. That's the truth. What was it exactly that you were planning on giving her? You know exactly what I was trying to give a numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty.
Answer his question. What was it?
You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring.
Engagement ring?
Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs.
Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here.
Francesca's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. We'll keep going anyway, I guess. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historical moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human being.
I advise you to cut this argument short.
I'm gonna have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring, I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology.
Yeah, sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. I planned on giving her an engagement ring. An engagement ring? Uh-huh, it's exactly a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is gonna love it. It's just a ring.
What's the matter, Nick?
Well, there's gotta be something I can catch him on. I kept it in my pocket for waiting for the chance to propose. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You've gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off?
I'm sorry, really.
You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one that should be apologizing. Really? Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. So you went to the lodging house to give it to her. That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count. That uppity snob kept getting in my way.
Uppity snob? Wait, oh, it's Max talking. Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his wood block in half and not with magic.
Well, they always say that love creates rivalries.
So what about this present?
In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pockets. Are you sure?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the raid, Pebble. Let me do a quick shout out. That's okay. Thank you very much for the raid. I hope you have a great day.
Trillo, do you mind if I show you something?
Oh, what is it?
What are you talking about?
Uh-oh. Looks like they're gonna double team me now.
Do you recognize this ring?
Ah, that's mine! Give it back, thief!
Didn't you just testify about this very object?
I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket.
Why then do I have it right here?
Ah!
What is going on here?
That's... Ben, say something!
Don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo.
I found this in Money's room.
The money's room? You mean a room where they put money, like a bank vault?
That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court.
Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word.
Ah, I see. Well then.
Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up.
Shiny things?
Trillo, when was this ring stolen from you?
Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night. The night of the crime.
Oh, what did you just say?
Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza.
Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct?
Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. For everyone that just joined, my name is Hope. And I do voice acting for all the little characters and stuff. I'm not very good at it, but I have a lot of fun with it. So I hope you have fun.
Ben, what's with ya? Never mind. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder.
It's not for you to decide what has to be done with what. Thank you very much for the redeem, Sky.
Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing, not I, Mr. Trillo Quist.
What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo?
You know exactly what I did. I chased after that monkey, that ring-snatching monkey money.
But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you?
It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey has been able to get away.
That is indeed an incredible shame.
Well, this does indeed prove one very important thing. Prove an important point? What point could possibly be?
What?
It has a flaw. There's a huge contradiction in his testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Monkey, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there's no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene of the crime.
Interesting, Mr. Wright.
Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that someone slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max.
Well, the defendant's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant.
What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, there's no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar.
Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night.
I've told you so many times, you'd think you'd know my whole story's not changing.
You've already changed your story, Stick Boy. I'm sure it'll change some more. Where there is one lie, there are usually many more behind it.
Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him.
Yeah.
Witnessing Max. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max.
That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and went chasing after him.
How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting?
Well, let's see. I'd say about,
I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
I'll give you that I was waiting for that.
Oh yeah, we already read all this. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up.
You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R, counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you think something like that would slip by me?
4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose.
Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trillo. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw him.
So you saw him coming out of the big top that night?
Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance of the tent the entire time.
I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina.
He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes.
About what time would you say these events took place?
You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure that out yourself. You've already known that practice finished promptly at 10, and you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it?
Indeed, what time was it?
What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. I'm no good at math. It was 10:10 p.m.
Yes, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right because that's the time that I saw Max on the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence.
Yep.
So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night.
You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning, you say good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben, you got something to add? Let me guess, that's not it, Trio. You said good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trillo.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside the courtroom.
Impossible. A performer lives and breathes at performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this testimony. I don't know, maybe evening greeting? Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? Strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly, how is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I'd understand. Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trilla would have ever said something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot.
The witness will resume his testimony.
Yeah, why would he be nice? Didn't he get hit, like... This is kind of a wild guess, but I'm guessing... Nice! What kind of coffee? Trillo is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? Folgers with some brown sugar and vanilla cream. Ooh, that actually sounds like a really good mix.
What? Is that an admission of assault and battery?
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have been suddenly cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would have just up and said good evening to his rival. Objection! Are you saying that this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the scene of the crime? I didn't tell a single lie, honestly. I just... Kinda, yeah, exactly.
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night?
Maybe it was like the Steel Samurai thing, where the victim was the dressed up as the perpetrator? It is my belief that the witness did indeed see something that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. Oh, and they're both the third case, so that's kind of interesting. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person who the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all, which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world, you?
Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trillo saw that evening, then?
Considering the ill temper of the witness, there's only one person he would greet.
It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute.
No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as a present.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there.
I gotta try that sometime. Put some brown sugar and vanilla cream in coffee. That sounds so freaking good right now. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist.
Order, order! How do you respond to this?
Oh, wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was that old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. Yeah, I hear that energy drinks are not very good for you. Especially when you drink more than one a day.
I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that night. The problem is identifying exactly who they were. Was it Maximilian or was it the ringmaster? One Mr. Russell Berry.
The prosecution agrees that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone all together now. Ow! Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear those. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we know that it was Maximilian Galactica? Could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What?
Miss Von Karma, do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it's impossible for me to make a judgment at this point.
Yes, I think we finally won a point on this one. That is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but...
But?
Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness.
Huh?
Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of doubt an answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica that, could be responsible for this crime.
Very well, the court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess.
Be continued.